This online tutorial will go through the steps of making an offer. So as a potential partner, we'll look at a listing, we'll decide to make an offer on that listing, and then we'll go through the steps from the point of view of the potential partner and also the season ticket holder to see how this process works. Let's get started. We have a demo account here. We have Bill Buyer, and we have a listing that we've created in another tutorial. So we'll go ahead and click on My Great Listing. To make an offer on this listing, just click on the Make Offer button. And here's an offer screen. We have an overview section, which gives an overview of the tickets and the ticket location. And then we have the actual tickets that we want. So this listing is for a specific list of tickets. If you recall from a previous tutorial, there are two types of listings. One is for a specific list of tickets like this one, and another one is for a generic number of games. So for this one, since it is a list of tickets, we'll go through and select the games and tickets that we want. So we are required to select at least 10 games, so let's get started. Now if you select the first ticket to a game, it'll select both the tickets. So here we are, we're taking the first games of the season, and we can go down further in the list, maybe take a few that are later on in the season so that we get up to 10. So here's 7, 8, 9, and 10. The total is calculated by the list price of the tickets, but the total you enter here is ultimately up to you and the season ticket holder to agree upon. Next, enter the payment details. So how will you pay the season ticket holder? And then a payment deadline. When will you pay? And then how long is the offer valid for? So we'll say that this offer is valid for 2 days. The next section discusses the service fee. And the buyer in an agreement pays a service fee of $2.50 per ticket with a maximum fee amount of $40. You can also include offer notes. And the listing notes are also included as part of an agreement. So anything that the season ticket holder has included in their listing notes is part of their agreement. The last step is to say that you've read this entire agreement and the terms of use, and click on Submit Offer. So we can clearly see that the offer was sent, and now we're waiting for the season ticket holder. So the season ticket holder is notified via email. So here we just switch browsers where we're logged in as Joe User, who's the season ticket holder for this demo listing. We'll click on Action Required. And here we can see that we've received an offer. And this is the time remaining on the offer. Now, please note that this offer looks the same to the season ticket holder and to the new buyer. So we have the overview section. Here are the tickets and the offer amount that were selected. We continue to scroll down and we have the offer total, the service fee, and then we have the buyer, how the buyer will pay, and then the season ticket holder and how the season ticket holder will deliver the tickets. Continuing on, we have the listing notes and the terms of use. Now lastly, we have the next steps. So the season ticket holder can accept this offer, counter it, or reject it. Now if they counter, they can go back and change any of the terms, and the buyer and the season ticket holder can continue to counter back and forth until they come to an agreement. So we'll go ahead and accept this agreement. So I will say that I've read this entire offer, and I'll click on Accept. So now as the season ticket holder, I need to set the ticket delivery details. So how am I going to get the tickets to this new buyer? So we'll select the option, then we'll select the deadline. So this is when I need to deliver the tickets, and then we'll set the ticket delivery method. And the final step for the season ticket holder is to send a final agreement to the buyer. So the season ticket holder always sends a final agreement to the buyer, and then it's up to the buyer to decide to take that last step to complete the agreement. So we'll say that I've read and understand, and that I'm willing to be bound by this if the buyer goes through with it. And again, you do have the opportunity to counter or reject at any stage in the process until the agreement has been completed. So I'll send this final agreement to the buyer. The buyer is then notified via email. So now if we switch over to the buyer's browser, we're back as Bill Buyer. And if I click on My Agreements, we'll see now that action is required for me. So here we are. Joe User, who is the season ticket holder, has prepared a final agreement for your review. So we will review this. So nothing has changed in this case, except the season ticket holder has entered their ticket delivery details. So the buyer can, at this point, still counter or reject. But if you want to go through with it, you'll click on that you've read and understand the offer and that you're willing to move forward with the season ticket holder. And you'll accept the agreement. Now the last step is to pay the service fee. Now the way this works is once the buyer and the season ticket holder have come to an agreement, the last step is to pay the service fee. And once you've paid the service fee, the agreement is completed and contact information is released to both buyer and season ticket holder. So at this point, you're just that step away from having an agreement to share season tickets. Thanks for watching this tutorial.